Amazon land, wherever you may be joining me from. It is Monday. I thank you for joining me today. I hope everyone had a fantabulous weekend. I just want to make sure that I'm coming through loud and clear on the other end. Couple minutes late coming through, I think, by the time this streams in. And my attire is a little cash looking today for those of you that may be observing. Normally, today I'm wearing a hoodie for one of two sessions about to come up here with Life Pro over the next day or two. Today, I'm going to be talking about combining the benefits of infrared saunas or sauna bag or whatever it is that you're using with a vibration platform. And there's been a lot of questions lately, should I, if you have both now, if you have infrared sauna technology and you have a vibration plate with Life Pro, I get a lot of questions about, well, should I do the vibration first or should I do the sauna first? Or should I do it after? Or should I do them on the same day? If I'm combining them, why should I? And how often? And so all the questions that come with, depending on whether, it is raining out here like a banshee in my little private studio out here on my lot. And my glasses are covered in rain as I ran everything out here this morning. So for those of you that are joining me today, this is part one of two sessions I'm going to be talking about over the next day or two. If you are joining me today, can you please just give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear me? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me on the other end. And we're going to get into a couple of reasons and a few tips on combining your infrared with your vibration plate. So if you're joining me today, please let me know you're here. If you have a sauna, or you've been thinking about a sauna, or you have a vibration plate, or you've been thinking about a vibration plate, today's a great day to drill me with your questions. Why would I do this? Why would I do that? And I'm going to talk very briefly about the benefits of combining these. And then we're going to get into an actual short demo on the vibration machine. A few things I like to combine with the theme today being session one of wellness and self-care. And I want to start by saying, realistically, there's no such thing as a perfect combo or a perfect order. I'm dressed for a reason today. One of my personal choices, I like to sweat. I like to turn up the heat factor. When I was younger, it used to be for toning and beauty applications. But as I've gotten older, it's more about the aches and the pains and detoxification and other things. So as I was thinking about, I've been wanting to do a session combining these two for some time, but it was becoming a very big session. So I've broken it into part one today, part two tomorrow. Today, we're talking strictly wellness, self-care, chronic conditions. If you have some of those things and you're looking for guidance as to how to combine these, today's a good day for your questions. If you're watching this on a recorded basis, feel free to tag me at Debby with a Y, and I will always get back to you within a timely manner. So the first little point I want to raise, three kind of major points, actually. First, there's no perfect combo. You need to experiment with you for your needs, what your schedule allows. And from a wellness or a chronic health perspective, if you want to combine using a sauna and a vibration plate, there's two approaches. And I'm going to talk on a same day scenario. If time doesn't allow, or you find that you prefer doing things every other day. Again, there's no perfect combo. Today, I'm going to talk about using a vibration plate before and or after for those chronic conditions, things like, symptoms of swelling and pain, and maybe you lack stamina. Maybe you're dealing with some heart issues. So the first approach we're going to look at is using a sauna using your vibration plate, prior to using your infrared sauna. So you would want to use your sauna, and again, this is just perspective. There's no perfect combination, but if you're dealing with some pretty severe chronic concerns, you're likely dealing with secondary things like fatigue, lack of mobility, pain and swelling. So wherever you have your sauna set up, today I'm using the infrared dome. But if you have a sauna blanket, if you've got the box sauna, It's a good idea if you're a practitioner or a massage therapist. I think there was a question in the VIP group the other day. The mini or the waiver for a 2 to 3 minute pre or post sauna session is an awesome reason to have a smaller machine in the room with your device. This is a camp cot that I've had for years and years, and it just happened to fit the dome perfectly. And a lot of times when I've got it set up in my basement, the mini's underneath here. So when I'm done, I can get into my sauna and do my thing. So that's just a visual I wanted to give you guys. But what I would recommend doing on the machine, depending on your goals, duration is often dictated by your goals, whether you're just doing some symptom relief or you're doing a workout. How much time you need to spend on the machine, need to spend versus like to spend are two different things. But a really great way, if you let's say worst case scenario, you cannot exercise. It's next to impossible for you to get up off the couch without it feeling like a workout itself. You have a vibration plate. Set it up within close proximity of your sauna. So, if it's half a world away on the other end of your house, it's going to make it harder for you to get from point A to B. So what I'd like you to think about, and ideally, as I always say in my sessions, you're sitting at a 90-degree angle with your legs. So you might want to sit up a little bit higher, but just getting a little bit of movement into the lower body. Maybe you're not able to weight bear, you're recovering from surgery or an injury. Just adding a little bit of vibe to the lower body before you do your sauna is going to increase your range of motion. It's going to make you more flexible. It's going to give you a good boost of circulation and lymphatic movement. So if there is pain, oxygen is racing through the system at better capacity. Your lymphatic system is moving, so hopefully will alleviate certainly some of the pain and the swelling, and just better prepare you for the physical act of getting in and out of your sauna itself. So that's the bottom end of the spectrum. And like I say, if range of motion is lacking, or you lack the ability to stand due to fatigue, pain, you're not supposed to be doing weight-bearing exercises, you can add your hands to your knees to get a little bit more upper body movement. I like adding my elbows. It's a little bit more direct, and just rest them on the knees to let them become part of the equation. I always do my sessions on slower speeds, but for new users, if you're dealing with chronic pain, I know it is the opposite of what every book shows you, but I want you speeding it up and bringing it up to a mid-range. The faster you go, the smoother the movement itself is going to be, but couple that with a closer foot placement. Reduce the amount of action, the amount of shake, so that you can get to those mid speeds, get more done in less time. So ideally, pre-sauna, I want you 2 to 3 minutes. If you're enjoying it, you do want to progress to a little bit of standing. We'll do that now. So if you're able to stand, instead of just standing there, perhaps adding some pelvic tilts, some range of motion. You're going to be laying lateral or sitting in your box sauna. And I used to find, I get all chill and I get all relaxed in my sauna. Then I'm super lazy and I don't want to do anything else. But, getting a little bit more loose and limber prior to getting into the sauna is again, furthering your range of motion, your flexibility. It kind of better prepares your body for whatever you're going to do next to it, being the sauna in this case. So a vibration machine is a great catalyst to have the body not only better prepared, but more receptive to other treatments, therapies, exercise, whatever you're planning on doing after it. If you lack strength, if you've got things you got to do after the sauna, you're probably going to feel a little lazy after. So if you did want to do a little bit of a light squat, maybe add some arm raises. I've done this in other sessions. Just move, do whatever you want to do for 2 to 3 minutes before you get on the plate. Another really good one, I'll turn sideways, but I want you doing this normally standing on the machine, is just to get into that back. If you feel like doing like a toe touch, if your range of motion allows, just relax those tense muscles. We get a lot of tightness that develops within our low back, the hamstrings, the calves. Knees are still slightly undone, but once you get to the 90-degree range, it is okay to lock those knees just for a second. You'll feel a much better stretch up through those hands, back of the knees and the calves, and then undo them again as you resume standing. Just roll the shoulders, loosen up the day, whatever you do when you stand up out of your desk, or if you've been sitting on the couch for too long. Just get moving and feeling better, and then you can do your sauna session. On to the sauna session. No, I'm not going to make you watch me sweat it away today, but I do want to point out a couple of sauna session tips. Whether you're combining it with your vibration plate or whether you're doing this as a standalone for chronic conditions, wellness, fitness, which we will talk about a bit more tomorrow in Tuesday's session. But I'm wearing a hoodie today for a couple reasons. And I'm sitting on my other thing here. So I just want to show you my little tool here. This is new. This is cool. This is available through lifepro.com. I will drop a link here as soon as I get my browser open. If you've ever been camping, I'm a Canadian. So when we go camping, sometimes at night it gets chilly. And I'm always, whenever I'm on I've always instinctively, I like hoodies. I have a hole full of hoodies. And what I like about a hoodie when I'm in my sauna, whether I'm in my, I've had box saunas, I've had blanket saunas, I've got some really amazing, newer generation saunas from Life Pro. And what I love about them is they're thinking ahead. One of the big things that I've always known and done is covered up my head. Your head is a big source of heat escaping if you're camping. That's why I wear a toque when I'm doing my thing in my camper and my sleeping bag. But in a sauna, it has a regulatory effect. What it essentially will do is, instead of this body temperature rise that you kind of bring on it to a degree of false fever. That's why saunas are so great for raising body temperature, aiding in detoxification, those types of things. But they've come out with something way fancier, the sauna hat. Okay, so this is available. Do you see this? On lifepro.com. I'm going to drop you a link right now. And the beauty of it's kind of, it'll fit any head. It's not meant to be something tight and constrictive. There's a little hook on the top, so you can hang it up. I've got a little towel rack by my sauna area in the basement. I'm going to drop this in here for you to see. Hello, Miss Kim. Anyone else who's joining me right now, I will be getting to sauna questions. Today we're combining vibration plates and saunas, and what I'm talking about right now is keeping the heat more regulatory. So if you if you do not have a sauna hat and you're considering one, wool is honestly the best fabric. It insulates and it also has good breathability. So whether you're trying to stay warm, trying to stay cool, it's very durable. It's going to last a very, very long time. Easy to keep clean, but it's a good add-on if you're using sauna technology now. And what I would recommend is, if you're using a sauna for wellness applications, you're looking at using it daily, and you have the ability to go for a 30-minute session, that's awesome if time allows you, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with going 30 minutes a day. What I would recommend, if you're a new sauna user, you may want to work up to that. So the dome sauna is a little bit different than the blanket saunas, where you're also incorporating infrared light. So, there's never any progress in starting at the top. I don't recommend cranking everything up max speed, your vibration plate. You're not going to make up for 40 years of not living properly. What I want you to do is graduate your way conservatively into these technologies. So if you're just starting vibration and you're just starting infrared sauna, 10 to 15 minutes post vibration. If you're dealing with chronic issues, dealing with an injury, recovery situation, you're just looking to optimize overall health. And what you'll find with a sauna, I'm just going to show you. What I love about this hat is it lays down quite nice. Oh, I've got the pillow too low. Hang on. I'm taller than I'm giving myself credit for. Is it kind of, like I say, it covers the top of your head and sort of stops the heat from escaping, but it's not up against my face or my ears, or it's not really intruding in my hair too terribly much either. And with this one, you can just roll this up to whatever your level of comfort. There is a seal to put yourself in at the neck, to completely get yourself in here. Do not touch the hardware within the top of the sauna. Please do not touch the red diodes directly. They're light bulbs. They get warm. You know that when you change a light bulb in the kitchen, you need to let it cool off a bit before you touch it. So same rule applies here. I also recommend once you start using your sauna regularly, you may notice the sweat factor increase. Personally, myself and a lot of my clients, if I'm not doing my sauna regularly, I find it takes a session or two for the sweat to really turn on. So don't be disheartened if you're 2, 3, even 4 sessions in and you haven't. Oh, wait a minute. It looks like I've lost my camera here. Have I lost you? Hang on. It looks like I've lost my visual here. Do you still have me? Good afternoon, Holly. I don't know who else is here with me. If you are here with me, please just do a comment if you can still hear me. I seem to have lost my audio or my video, and I really don't want to have to refresh. I seem to be having an audio or a video or both issues. If anyone is there with me, can you please make a comment and let me know if you're still hearing me on audio? Okay, I am apologizing. You can only hear me. Okay, for those of you that are with me, can you please just hang tight? I'm going to reboot this bad boy and I will be back within 30 seconds. Can you see and hear me now? That looks better. I can see myself. I look like a mushroom. Ooh, see? I look like I should be in a Mario game or something, perhaps, eh? Just wait, I gotta get my... There we go. That's better. All right. I see 3 of you are still here with me. Thank you for rejoining. I seem to be I'm in the middle of a really good thunderstorm here today, so I am having some technical issues. Thank you. It looks like I kind of kept going there, so my apologies. I was rambling on about being a new user. Yes, I'm back. So if you are starting, I'll just resume where I kind of left off. If you are a new user to using sauna technology, this one, as I said, incorporates red light technology as well. Graduate into it. It's just like exercise. You can overdo anything. And the big thing you'll find with a sauna, especially if you're combining vibration, you're getting active, even if it's just in a passive, feel-good manner, as I showed you today, there's all kinds of things going on. There's detoxification. Your body's ability to expedite toxins really ramps up with both of these technologies. So tip again to make sure that you just stay hydrated. These are all good supportive habits to increase the overall benefits of both. But start out for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. As I said, if you're not sweating profusely within the first 3 to 4 sessions, please do not freak out. But if you're getting up to the half-hour mark, and you're going, 5, 6 sessions without perspiring, you may want to have a bigger discussion with your doctor, make sure everything's working correctly. But sweating is a big part of course, how our body detoxifies. So, I recommend if you're a new user, leave your sauna towards the end of the day or whenever your end of day is. You're going to be sweaty. You might want to take a shower after, but you will tend to be really relaxed, really fatigued, and probably just want to go to bed. So before you do that and get too sleepy, I want to get back to the second part of this, which is combining vibration and infrared sauna, but using a vibration plate after you've done your sauna session. So what's the difference and why would I do it after? my sauna session? Well, probably the number one reason is it just feels good. Sometimes the reason we do things for our body aren't always because they're terribly scientific studied or Debbie told you to. It just feels right. It just feels good. I know a lot of my clients back in my studio day were 50, 60 plus, and we got a lot of aches and pains starting to develop. So once you've been laying in a sauna, even though you're relaxed and this and that, you've probably got dinner to get to and kids to tend to or other things to tend to. So using your machine for a minute or two afterwards, just to get things moving, loosen things up, but also from that detoxification perspective, if you are managing chronic symptoms, it's awesome to use the machine also for a little bit afterwards, just to complete the process of the sauna. So the vibration machine can be a catalyst to better prepare your body for the sauna, but it also expedites recovery. So there's a lot of overlapping benefits, but the big difference with a vibration plate over the sauna or any other technology of that nature is the weight-bearing nature. So if you are looking at building bones and gaining strength, maybe other things, you need to improve stability. Perhaps you lack, endurance. If you're dealing with cardio issues and you just don't have the wind, a minute or two afterwards is going to re-energize you, reoxygenate the cells, help them perform their function better, and just leave you in a better state of balance if you do have other things you need to get to. If you are going to go straight to bed, a minute or two, doing some of the exact same things that I suggested as the warm-up, it's not a different thing. It's just do something. Your areas of trouble, and sometimes it's learning about using the machine just for what I would call a spot treatment or a position or two, just to prep you and absorb some of those good benefits before or after you incorporate your infrared sauna technology. If you're using them on opposite days, certainly you can look at extending your time frames. But from a wellness perspective, it's not about, the long race and going longer and longer is going to make more benefit. 2 to 3 minutes, mixing up what you're doing and whatever settings feel good to you. I always prefer oscillating movement. It mimics how we walk. It's more functional, and every Life Pro model offers it. So that's why it's kind of the primary how all of this started. It's the foundation of vibration plates. A lot of the other modes are just added gravy, added features to make it a little bit more fun, offer a little bit more variety, and cater to what might feel good to you. If at the end of the day, I recommend going with what feels best for your needs and your situation and your own tolerance. When it comes to the sauna, I wish I had an hour every day to do my workout and my sauna. I'm probably 1 to 2 times a week. If I were to break it out over the course of the year, in the colder months up here in Canada, I'm certainly a little bit more frequent just because it gets me warm. But again, one of the great reasons of incorporating these two is not only to play off the benefits of each other, but if you are dealing with a chronic situation and you want to expedite healing, you're only going to ramp up the benefits of both. So certainly, 15 to 20 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes on your machine, 10 to 15 minutes in your sauna, even a minute or two after, if time allows, is a great routine to get into. It's not a huge time commitment. And stop beating yourself up if you're not doing the workout. I'll beat you up tomorrow on the workout portion of this whole idea, this concept of comboing. But I know for a lot of my wellness practitioners, so many of you out there that are dealing with chronic issues and illnesses, you've got these tools at your disposal, but sometimes you think if you're not doing a workout, there's nothing to benefit. And that's just not the case. Start moving and feeling better, and the rest will progress as your range of motion does. As I always say, you're only limited by your imagination and your range of motion. And my number one reason that I love combining these technologies is to further flexibility, boost circulation to a better capacity, as well as lymphatic fluid. And at the end of the day, they complement each other in so many of the benefits. It's just a different way to get more done in less time. So I'm all about more capacity in less time as a mom and a trainer for you guys. So thank you for listening to me ramble. I'm going to turn the lights down a little bit so I'm not quite so shiny looking. I want to bring this hat back up, I want to stress again, this is an all wool hat that Life Pro has come out with. It's kind of a universal size fits all. There's an awesome little hook on the top. It's a great little add-on. And what I have found is that instead of making sure that I always like to layer up, I also actually have what's called a sauna suit. There's also the neoprene wraps, not the neoprene, the Kevlar wraps, not Kevlar, the silver shiny tent fabric. I'm losing my brain this morning. But that's a great way if you really want to get to that sweat factor, ramp up detoxification. But the hat is a great way to help your body regulate body temperature. If you find, if you're going through menopause like me and you have flashes of cold or hot, it's just a better way for your body to distribute that heat evenly. And a funny thing, it's been chilly here the last few weeks and I am going through flashes. I am finding the days that I'm doing my actual saunas, like giving it a good sweat, my flashes are certainly less. They've been waking me up. I don't know if it's because it's summer and it's been so hot out, but I wake up at I'm just about ready to, I've been in the sauna just before that sweat point. But I'm finding the days that I'm incorporating and I knew this, but I haven't been diligent, is the severity of those flashes is reduced if I have them at all. So just a tip for those of you that might be in the post 50 crowd. I don't know if anyone has questions for me. If you, like I say, if you do have a vibration plate and you are dealing with a chronic condition, there's a perfect harmony between incorporating these two. A little goes a long way, 2 to 3 minutes prior to your sauna or after your sauna, especially if you're a wellness facility. Any of these as a catalyst and a complement to other therapies that you're doing are not only going to benefit your clients and your patients further, but your tools, your physical hands are going to be less taxed. You're going to require them less. And by using these technologies yourself, you're only going to further your personal ability to care. So it's all good. It's all win-win on a Monday. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about vibration plates incorporated with saunas or sauna blankets as a fitness, weight loss, toning angle. And there's so many overlaps, the detoxification, recovery, relaxation, but we're going to wrap it out with a few more ways that you can use your vibe in less time. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit meaner because there's going to be some squats and standing required. But if your goal is weight loss, toning, it is summer season. I'm getting ready to be a bridesmaid, as many of you know. We're all in shorts and tank tops and looking in the mirror again. There's lots of ways you can incorporate these technologies to kind of cut a few corners and ramp things up to reduce your time and your effort. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time for the fitness portion, part 2 of this. If you want updates and notifications and reminders in any of Life Pro's events as you get notified, please go into the event and say going or at least interested so you get notifications. I was a little late today with the power issues and sometimes things come up on our technical side. So make sure that if there are any changes that you're not missing it or just you're not missing the session. A lot of times you forget about it because you didn't get that reminder. If you're watching the recorded version and you want to ask me a question, maybe you've got a chronic concern and you've got these technologies, but you're just not certain that I answered your questions today, tag at Debby with a Y in the comments and at least that way it will get to me. Get started today, be accountable to me. If you have these 2 technologies and you've been putting it off, check in. Make me a comment if you give it a shot. Try just 2 to 3 minutes on your machine before and or after your sauna session and let me know how you feel. I love to hear your feedback, and it's impossible to cover everything in every session without overwhelming you more than my talking already does. You guys have an awesome Monday. Don't work too hard, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard for part 2 of sauna plus vibe for the fitness portion. Have a great day.